Guys, what is up? It's Teach here, coming at you again with another video over on Ark Survival Ascended, and they just released a massive update for next week. We all know that Aberration is coming out in the next few days, but they released some awesome screenshots, some actual news on what we're going to see for Aberration, and something that possibly means for some people an 80% performance increase, which is absolutely bonkers. Now, I'm going to cover that. If you haven't seen it already, you can just literally look at this link that's up on top of the screen for the entire video. But it's the Survive the Ark Community Crunch, and I'm going to walk through some of the things you might not have seen because there's a few things in here I was like, oh, that's interesting. So anyways, yeah, so we'll talk about this image in just a second. But yeah, let's get started. Now, welcome to another edition of the Community Crunch. They always say that, but you can see the countdown is for sure September 4th. They're not pushing it back, which is awesome news. Sometimes within the week before, they will have a tendency to do that. But honestly, this looks great. It's amazing. Aberration is my favorite map. I am stupid stoked. I love the fact that they've added steampunk stuff, which means they're probably going to have like give or take 15 structures because that's how much they added with Scorched Earth. So I'm stoked to see some of the things that are in there. But anyways, let's go ahead and click on this guy so you can see the full picture. Obviously, you can see this is the size of the actual Cosmo that is going to be released, which is the little spider dude. And the little spider dude is basically just going to be the ability to shoot web out of your hands and then fly around the map like you are a Spider-Man. Yeah, that's kind of dope. It's really neat. You know, I will admit that this looks certainly like a mod creature that I don't know if the author of the mod ever got credit, but that's besides the point. Yeah, so you can go ahead and see that. But another cool thing, this is a Reaper tail. This is the Reaper. It looks like they did a little bit of TLC on it. It looks like it's got a little bit more of an aggressive look with longer spikes. And the head looks a little bit different, not super different, but just a little bit. I'm not sure this is like this is the area where everyone tames Reapers, which is kind of funny that they brought it here. This is a little zone right down here, like right next to the red zone. So that's kind of neat that they have it right there. Or it anticipates that it might be the Reaper zone has actually changed a little bit, but you know, it is what it is. So looks really neat. You can see that if this is a screenshot from game, things look a little bit shinier, a little crisper. The rock formations aren't just like big circles now. They have some actual depth to them, which looks really cool. Obviously, you can see the steampunk set that he's wearing. The Survivor mate is going to be super cool mixed with Cosmo. It's a massive, massive update, and I'm pretty stoked for it. But anyways, let's get further into it because there's some really awesome things that actually exist inside this, including launch plans. So you can see launch date, 4th of September, the time later in the day in the US schedule. So basically means so we're probably looking at like nighttime for Eastern, for those of you that are wondering EST, what it looks like. That would be my guess. Usually like 4 or 5 p.m. would be maybe 7 or 8 if it's based on what they did for the center, but we'll see. They're increasing rates for 2 times for the first 2 weeks, which is pretty awesome news. I like that. That's a good thing. And you can see that those are the generic big changes, but this right here is huge. So this is working on all platforms, basically across all hardware. So you can see it for Aberration launch. Expect to see an 80% performance gain on console and PC, which is absolutely bonkers. 80% is hilarious. Assuming you weren't already using it. I'm not using it, so I'm definitely going to use the Fidelity Frame X interpolation. That's huge. Definitely going to check that out. And so this will happen when app releases. And then another update that is going to be super important will be this right here, Unreal Engine 5.4. Now, Unreal Engine 5.4, it looks like they're pushing it back somewhere between October and November, which, I mean, I appreciate the update. Some people would be like, well, they told it. No, they very specifically said we're going to try and release it at the same time. But there's also a good chance that we don't actually get a chance to release it at that point in time. So this is going to increase the performance as well. And yeah, so that's going to be huge. I appreciate that they're actually QA processing and testing this. Some people are like, well, I want it now. You want it now, but then when it gets released and there's bugs, we have problems. So fix it like it's supposed to be. Release AB now, and then release update for Unreal Engine 5 in October, November timeframe. Now, I'm assuming that's also going to release Ragnarok during that time frame, so we'll see if that's actually accurate. My guess would be November, but I'm not totally sure. So anyways, This is them going into actually what will be happening on September 4th, which is a big, big thing. So obviously you can see the Aberration map is Aberration Ascended is what they're calling it, is being released at that point in time. So that's pretty awesome. And if you haven't played Ab before, I'll make a video on everything you need to know about Aberration beforehand. But yeah, it's my favorite map, not really close. You've got like distinct biomes and things that actually change the game of how you play, and you have to play not like you would normally expect to, and that's what I love so much about it. You can see that the free community voted creature Li Ying, that's going to be pretty cool. That's not something that they added in for anything else. They're just straight up having it. They're saying, hey, here's the Yi-Ling, enjoy it. Now, in order to actually, I mean, it looks, my guess, so Yi-Ling is able to shoot some sort of quills. Maybe it's sort of a bleeding or a slow quill or something along those lines. I think that's a really necessary thing. Otherwise, the Yi-Ling isn't going to be super valuable, because if it can shoot things, the Velonosaur just replaces it. So it's got to have some sort of bleed or slow, and that's what I'm hoping for. But anyways, let's go a little further down. So this is the Bob's Tall Tales. So this is not the free version. So if you played for Bob's Tall Tales before Scorched released, you know that they are going to have it as Scorched, Aberration, Extinction. So Bob's Tall Tales, once it actually does release, you can see the Steampunk Ascent will be this version of it, which is, I mean, if you haven't bought it, it's actually worth it. I love it. I think it's a great addition. So more of a PvE thing, but there are a few broken things for PvP as well. So anyways, let's go ahead and get started with it. So you can see gears, cogs, and steam power. That's awesome. I love it. So I'm assuming they're going to add something pretty dope. I don't know what yet. We know that the blimp is going to be somehow, I don't know if it'll be this update or the next one. I'm assuming it's going to be this one, because it provides us with some sort of flying capability for this, which is pretty dope, but you know, I hope it is. But anyways, it's also going to include Cosmo, which was the guy you saw up there, turning you into the spider that can just move around the map. The web slinging shoulder pet, and it's awesome because it also has like directional light, which is pretty cool. Light in Aberration is something that is very difficult to understand, but it's very useful. You need it once you enter the blue and red zones, and you'll understand that once you play the map. And then obviously you can see we saw a glimpse of Survivor Mate. Took me a minute, but I did figure that out because a bunch of people made fun of me for pronouncing it wrong. So these are major updates, and I'm stoked to see that we add those in. But so kudos to Ark. I'm not always giving them kudos, but that's a kudos kind of situation. And then you can see whether you're braving the depths or exploring new heights, it's going to be a lot of fun. And this is interesting. I haven't plugged these cords in yet, but I've got an assumption that the center rat holes, mine is probably fixed. I haven't looked at these three, but I'm glad that they are showing us, hey, here's 3 more rat holes that we're gonna get rid of when Aberration releases. Now that you know, just be aware of it. So, I mean, I hope, I mean, it'd be funny if they just got rid of Teach's rat hole, or like put like a sign of mine outside of base, we banned you from official for this, but you know, it is what it is. And I hope that'd be hilarious. Conquest Servers Season 2, I've heard a lot of negative things about this, but it is releasing. Your choice. I'd rather play, I'm playing over on Elite Ark right now, and that's just joinable via Discord link. You can just search Elite Ark. It's a very big cluster of people. More PvP only, there's not really any PvE, but it is a great server, so I'd rather play that than something like this. Personal opinions, keep that in mind. Obviously, you can see that the bonus rates are going to be increased pretty significantly. Obviously, that's what happens when the maps release. And this is before, so the entire weekend you're going to see 2x, and then you're going to get 2x as well while Aberration releases, to give those people an opportunity to catch up to everyone on official servers. Even though they never will, they just have to have stuff ahead of time. It'll at least give them a little bit of time to think about it. So obviously, Community Corner, Syntac, you know, the biggest Ark YouTuber that pretty much has ever existed. Skyforce, this is cool. I don't know who this Waylin is, but that's 3 million subscribers. Pretty neat that they're showcasing that. Brings in the Basilisk. Some of these people that can draw, oh my goodness, I wish I had that ability. That's so cool. But yeah, so that's the big thing. I'm stoked. I think there's going to be some, Aberration is by far my favorite map. I love it. It's the slowest paced map, because unlike the other maps where you've got engrams and other things like that, you have to grind your way onto Ab. Though it is very easy to get resources, it is very unforgiving in the fact that even if you're level 100, right, you can run into big trouble, which sucks. So and that's because of radiation, reapers, Perlovias. It's a very dangerous map. Rock drakes will just snap you out of the sky. It's a lot of fun. I'm stoked. I'm gonna play the crap out of it. So anyways, hopefully this is something that helps you guys out. And if you don't mind, it helps a ton. smash that like button, leave a comment below for the algorithm, and then consider subbing to the channel. All right. Other than that, teach.